This afternoon, value addition to feature prominently in sweeping reforms to be announced by the Finance Minister Dr. Kasela Toforson as part of measures to help revive Ghana's cocoa sector.
We'll also take you to some cocoa farms at Axim in the eastern region where galamsey activities continue to be a major hindrance to cocoa cultivation.
Plus, this afternoon, 2 more young individuals in the Saboba district of the northern region reportedly died from suspected cases of meningitis. News Central live on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano.
And I am Mawina Egbeta. The bulletin starts right now. Sweeping reforms and a positioning of Ghana's cocoa sector for value addition for the country's raw beans are major announcements expected from the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasela Toforson, later this afternoon. It follows yesterday's emergency cabinet meeting called by the president following worrying concerns over Ghana's longest major foreign exchange earner. At the heart of the challenges within the country's cocoa sector is a debt burden of some $20.6 billion, falling global cocoa prices, all creating severe cash flow constraints. The results have been the non-payment of farmers. Well, ahead of the address, the Finance Minister has been engaging major stakeholders key to the new path to be charted by the government in rescuing the dying sector. Speaking to the media after an engagement at the Trade Ministry, Dr. Kasela Toforson hinted value addition as pivotal in helping reposition the country's cocoa sector.
This afternoon at about 1:30 at the Ministry of Finance, we are using the morning to engage key stakeholders. So this is the first of many meetings that we'll have today. And we have successfully engaged processors, cocoa processors, and just to ascertain from them their ability to be able to process cocoa locally to add value and create jobs, where possible, create wealth also for our people. And so you can see the heavyweights with us today, their ability to be able to process significant amount of cocoa. The details will be delivered this afternoon as part of the cocoa sector reforms. Let me also use this opportunity to entreat you that the government is going to roll out a comprehensive reform of the cocoa sector. The sector has survived this country for years, created jobs, and has done so what has become more or less has always been our mainstay of the Ghanaian economy. But it's obvious that it's undergoing some challenges. Also be announced today, and I'm sure going forward all of us will be happy to embrace the new cocoa sector.
Now, Trade Minister Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, also speaking before the closed-door meeting, promised collaborations which will create jobs for the teeming youth, which will then help set the cocoa sector on the right path.
Today we are here basically in our bid to add value to raw material that we produce in Ghana. It is the only means by which we can create jobs for our teeming youth. It is the only way that we can make our economy very strong. We are enjoying a strong city, and by doing this, we are even going to enjoy a stronger city. And so today we are here to make sure that we talk to industry, know what their challenges are, and solve them so that they are able to process our cocoa right here in Ghana. Can you imagine what will happen to our employment front if 50% of our cocoa is produced right here and processed right here? I'm sure the answer is what you are thinking. And so today, the Minister of Finance is here at the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry so that we engage industry, know their challenges, and make sure that even before the season ends, they are able to upskill, they are able to process more, and the next season will even be better. At the end of the day, issues of industry will be solved, and the agribusiness subsector would have delivered their mandate very well.
Meanwhile, COCOBOD CEO Dr. Randy Abbey, as well as has also addressed the media before the meeting.
We are continuing with our series of stakeholder engagements, and the processes are an extremely important part of the value chain. And so, in view of government's strategy with respect to the value addition of cocoa, it was only appropriate that we also met the captains of that sector, and to show how serious and committed government is. We had both the finance minister and the minister for trade, agribusiness and industry leading this engagement. The details of government's direction and policy would be contained in the minister's press briefing later on this afternoon. But just for everybody to know that we intend changing the direction as far as the cocoa industry is concerned. We have over-relied on the export of the raw beans. And so we need to change course if we're really serious about value addition, creation of jobs, getting the farmer better value for their work, and also creating wealth as far as entrepreneurship and business is concerned. Thank you.
Well, we know that with all of these conversations, the expectation is that major reforms are expected. And you heard Dr. Randy Abbey, who is the CEO of COCOBOD as well, allude to that. But where are we currently, and why the conversations about a major reform in terms of direction as well for the country's cocoa sector? Let's try and walk you through that this afternoon. And we're starting off with the modules which have existed, right? And one of the major reasons why we are here as well is that some cocoa farmers have not been paid. And we'll be taking you all to some parts of the country where cocoa production or growing cocoa is a mainstay to as well hear from a number of these farmers. But this is what we've had exist for quite some time. So the old model in terms of how funding takes place for our cocoa sector, and then the new model as well. The old model, which had to do with the syndicated loan, it came with excessive costs in terms of interest payments whenever we were going to take the loans. But it ensured that the monies were here and present with us. And so the farmers could be paid. And so if you look at all of the elements, loans from international banks, COCOBOD then disburses to the license buying companies directly. It came at a cost because we could sometimes pay interest as high as $150 million annually, resulting partly to the rising debt as well. And then payments were stable, but very costly. Then we decided to adopt a new model in terms of dealing with this, where we went to buyers or we went forward to global cocoa buyers and said, give us 60% upfront payments, and then we will deliver these beans to you. 500 million was received. Then COCOBOD depends on the buyers to then fund and then get these monies down to the cocoa farmers. No interest payments, because originally, amongst many other things, it will result to, amongst many other things, very less interest payment. But we've seen prices decline, and that has resulted in quite a number of the challenges we're seeing, a delay in payment amongst many other things, causing the stress. But when we say prices have declined, this is what we're talking about. And so somewhere last year, as at May of last year, we're seeing prices around 10,934 thousand per ton, almost 11,000. We've moved from these price hikes to $3,781 per ton currently, and that is what is contributing largely to the pressure on cocoa board and the cocoa sector as well. Obviously, we've as well seen, amongst many other things, the cedi's performance as well decreasing in terms of volumes, how much cedis we have to immediately pay these farmers as well. Then we're seeing as well the drop in terms of cocoa in the country's export value. But we mentioned that $20.6 billion debt, which is hanging over the head of cocoa board, cedis, I should say. And it's largely attributable to matters in relation to subsidies, legacy debt, cocoa roads, which were commissioned all under cocoa board, commitment and operational losses. It's important to mention that this figure we're seeing have been renegotiated, as a matter of fact. But what are the many proposed solutions we're looking forward to? We've heard the finance minister and the trade minister allude to one of such, which is value addition. Reason they've been meeting key sector players before the announcement expected at 1:30, as indicated by the finance minister. But of the many things that could possibly come along, raising short-term funding to clear the farmer arrears, because the farmers need to be paid, they want to be paid. And in fact, we've been interacting with a number of them who say that they do not have funding to return to the cocoa farms and continue to produce the beans for us, sell the cocoa beans to local manufacturers for value addition, one of the many things we've heard mentioned already, strengthen hedging and forward sales strategy, escrow structures and shared price for risks, internal fund mobilization to fund internal cocoa purchases. We've tried that. I don't know how well it went when we abandoned the syndicated loan, and also review subsidy programs and cut operational losses. These are just proposals based on research work, what it is that we've been seeing. But let's get on to the phone lines right now, because we've been joined on the phone by Nana Obuadia Boateng Bunsu, who's the president of the Concerned Cocoa Farmers Association of Ghana. Just pick quick thoughts in terms of expectation from him. Obuadia, we appreciate you speaking to us. Just briefly, talk to us about what you expect from the finance minister's briefing today regarding delayed payment of the cocoa farmers.
Well, good afternoon to your viewers, and then also I'll say a very big thanks to all cocoa farmers across the country for their patience that they have been waiting for so long. All the expectation, what we are expecting from a finance minister, it's all about our money. And then I think, and we have a strong belief that at the end of the day, it is our money that they are going to talk about, and then we are going to receive the money. So that the farmers that are worried, or those that we don't even have the money, even the turnaround will be putting smiles on our faces, because we are in Valentine, or we are in a chocolate day, which we also have to be buying chocolate and then also show love for our loved ones across the country. So I think it is a pleasant one that we'll be hearing from the finance minister this afternoon, and then we know that we are going to receive our money.
You know you are going to receive your money. You had asked for a personal meeting with the president after his briefing or the cabinet retreat yesterday to discuss these matters. Is it something that will still be on your plate if the minister announces payments for these farmers?
Yeah, well, when the minister finishes with the payment and other things, we need to meet with the president, because there are some pressing issues that we need to address it, and it is national security issue. It is very serious and dangerous, which if care is not taken, is going to affect the whole.
What are these issues that you want to discuss with the president?
That is the cocoa. It's about the cocoa tree. It is about the cocoa tree, because now the cocoa tree is highly in danger. They are just destroying them, open space for real estate and other things, which we quickly need our attention for it. And it is only the president that can quickly put a sanction, or maybe say something about it for this destruction to stop. Though we've met with Dr. Randy Abe, he has explained a lot of things to us. We are grateful for his time and other things. But then also, we think that the president is the mighty to put his voice in it for all this kind of thing that is happening within our sector to stop. Because now it is the the debt that we are talking about. It's our money that we are looking for today. But tomorrow, it will be the trees, because the target is the tree. It is not the beans. It is the tree that bears the fruit. Then we have the beans. And now that we are talking about how they have to pay us, the trees are going. They are cutting down the trees, paving way for real estate and other things, paving way for illegal activities and other things. We have issued a statement that anybody that cuts down a cocoa tree should be jailed. You get it? But we need a voice. We need a strong voice like the president to back us. That is why we want to meet the president. Another issue which I can't discuss it on your radio or your TV, but then when we meet the president, I think with a closed door, all of us, all the cocoa farmer groups can also bring theirs, and then we will have a better life to live in, because that is our only source of livelihood. Without cocoa, we are nothing. That is, cocoa is the only thing that we survive on it.
Right. Now, if the government announces short-term measures today, what concrete timelines and guarantees would you as cocoa farmers be expecting? And will that also engender confidence in you as to a rescuing of the sector?
Well, for now, we are waiting for the statement that will come out from Monaco to us, and then also we will also come out with our also statement, because as I'm talking to you, I'm in the central region heading towards the western region to meet some of the farmers around. So unless we hear from the finance minister before we can also react to whatever that he comes up with.
Now, Boadia, we'll leave it here, I'm sure. The minister's briefing is just, some hour or so away, an hour and 15 minutes away, and then we'll get the details from the finance minister. But I appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon as we continue in the way of expectations ahead of the finance minister's address. We've heard from the cocoa farmers. We'll take you as well to parts of the country and engage not leadership of the cocoa farmers, but some of the cocoa farmers themselves, because our colleagues have been moving in and around different parts of cocoa growing areas. Kamini, you have that for us?
Absolutely. We'll take you straight to Axim in the eastern region, where some cocoa farmers are losing their lands to illegal mining, while limited access to farm inputs and the absence of reimbursement funds continue to worsen their plight. For many of these farmers, survival has become a difficulty since they have to spend many hours protecting their farmlands from glamsayers. A bit we will talk to our correspondent Yvonne Nikwe, who's been spending some time with these farmers. But first, let's take a listen to the farmers she interacted with.
Sanya market kiti no yere mic afo ha de yenye bi ti say boot or si kan no ye sanya ma no yentimi nya bi wa ha cause cocoa there I suppose do be 80 years na ka wa go fet na ka no so timi aboa ye there bia ye mapa wa na use wan ko toto eduro rough cocoa so timi nya ti say na ope asase bi o rebe ye cocoa na gala fo abetu ti say obi amama asase na asen be 20 acres me oho a galanity ema betu asase no abeno kram na ka sopo medu akokra mante me anua galani de hajun about me boy next stop usade ni kwaka ye metimi asimi bo say because east region how pe bia akoko opa e wo east region e kromu ha ekrom ye kwani nye ti say duro ni regu koko so sister wako ye galakasa ultimate because cocoa there season your time reality e basa ye kasa ye kwaduma ye nansa ye cocoa gala no ye koye gala ho aduma sana be nye ska ne rebeto aduro fagu cocoa so aban moaye e waduro mu moaye ye kasa na ebre ya ko gala ye nye ska beto aduro fagu cocoa so.
Yvonne has joined us now. Yvonne, tell us exactly what that farmer said in that video clip.
The farmer said that they were having challenges with accessing inputs and then fertilizers as well. And as much as these cocoa farming business has been given to them from generations, unfortunately, they seem to be struggling in the sector. Again, accessibility to land is an issue. Many of them do not own lands. The land can lease to them. Unfortunately, the landowners, by they give the land out to miners to do mining illegally or responsible mining. And so they do not have quite enough land to even have the cocoa going on. So briefly, this has been a conversation when I engaged them.
I see. How widespread are these concerns? How does it resonate with other farmers, Yvonne?
This resonates with cocoa farmers largely in mining areas. We're talking about Oda, Kede, Asaman, and all of those areas that are affected by illegal mining. All of these farmers in those particular areas are having these challenges. When it comes down south of the region, it is not an issue of illegal mining, but sand drilling, inputs, and of course, access to land as well. So in as much as on the last scale, it's about issues of input and fertilizer. Between these entities, it's either sand drilling or illegal mining. As we speak, and as much as they are not being reimbursed of the cocoa they are given to the marketing clerks, many of them are gradually losing hope because of finding that the agents still in the business not attractive enough for the youth, because they believe that if we're going to spend quite much in investing into cocoa farming and not being able to get a return on investment, then probably they may have to choose the very easy but not quite a good area, which is the illegal mining area.
Yvonne, in terms of government interventions at this time, with the backdrop of the financial crisis faced by the cocoa sector, what are the farmers' take on it?
So the farmers have been engaging since yesterday. They're just hanging on the hope from government officials that the promises that they're giving there will come to play. Otherwise, we might lose quite a number of these farmers in the business as well. Because like I said, we're still having the aged farmers, the alternative production is not happening. Many are also not involving themselves in mixed cropping to ensure that probably even the cocoa go on a leaf season, they could have an alternative crop to lean on. And so these are very issues that they are hoping that government resolve them probably in the interim or long term to ensure that they do still stay in the cocoa business. We cannot do away with cocoa because it's one of our critical crops in this country.
Yvonne Ikwe, Eastern Region Correspondent, thank you very much for the report. We'll now take you to the Ashanti region, where Ibrahim Abubakar has visited with some cocoa farmers as well. Ibrahim, share with us your observations during these visits.
Well, Kemi, I can tell you that the cocoa farmers are unhappy with the state of affairs. In fact, they are saying that if care is not taken and if the situation is not addressed immediately, then they will be left with no option than to even start smuggling some of their cocoa beans outside the country. We do know that it's been criminalized and they have been taken through a series of training on why we should maintain our cocoa here. Already, production has declined from around 1 million tons to currently we are doing around 500,000, 600,000. So we know the impact, especially when these commodities are smuggled outside the country. But for them, they believe that they've invested a lot in this farming activity. They have harvested and it's time for them to reap what they've sown, only to be there without money. For months, several of them say they've been struggling even and taking care of the basic needs of their families have been a challenge for them. And they want nothing than government coming out with a timelines to tell them when exactly they will get their money, because as it stands, they are unable to even plan properly, even go for loans, because they do not know when they will get the money. And the quite unfortunate incident or scene when you go to areas around Kunsu, we are told that farmers are now even doing galamsey or illegal mining as a part-time job because they need to go all out and get money to be able to cater for the basic needs of their family. So whilst they are looking up to doing the cocoa, they also go to these illegal mining sites to engage with some of the activities so that they will be able to get their money. So all that they are expecting from the meeting is that government come out with a roadmap when they will get their money so that it will even encourage them to do more production or to expand production when it comes to the cocoa farming business.
Very well, Ibrahim, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Ibrahim Abubakar is a Ashanti region correspondent who's visited with some he's visited with some cocoa farmers in the Ashanti region where they've been expressing frustration at government's inability to pay for their cocoa beans. You're still here on News Central, still to come. The Ghana Education Service bans 3 senior high schools for 2 years. We'll tell you why and from what on the other side of this break.
Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
From the 13th of February to the 15th,
we're leaving the chaos of a crowd behind for a weekend of intimacy and play.
Think boat cruise,
the heat of a bonfire, and the kind of serenity that lets you explore every moment together.
Limited rooms are available for just 2,200 Ghana cedis only to enjoy 2 nights of luxury and pleasure,
inclusive of special decor, candlelight dinner, and wine on arrival for you.
The room is ready. Are you?
Visit mgtix.africa
or call 054-788-6258 to book now.
Your most intimate Valentine yet is waiting. Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
From the 13th of February to the 15th,
we're leaving the chaos of a crowd behind for a weekend of intimacy and play.
Think boat cruise,
the heat of a bonfire, and the kind of serenity that lets you explore every moment together.
Limited rooms are available for just 2,200 Ghana cedis only to enjoy 2 nights of luxury and pleasure,
inclusive of special decor, candlelight dinner, and wine on arrival for you.
The room is ready. Are you?
Visit mgtix.africa
or call 054-788-6258 to book now.
Your most intimate Valentine yet is waiting. Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
From the 13th of February to the 15th,
we're leaving the chaos of a crowd behind for a weekend of intimacy and play.
Think boat cruise,
the heat of a bonfire, and the kind of serenity that lets you explore every moment together.
Limited rooms are available for just 2,200 Ghana cedis only to enjoy 2 nights of luxury and pleasure,
inclusive of special decor, candlelight dinner, and wine on arrival for you.
The room is ready. Are you?
Visit mgtix.africa
or call 054-788-6258 to book now.
Your most intimate Valentine yet is waiting. Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cape Town.
Where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
From the 13th of February to the 15th,
We live in the
Back here on News Central, we're starting off the segment from the regions, and we're taking you there right now because the Ghana Education Service, the GES, has banned 3 senior high schools for 2 years from organizing or participating in any sporting and co-curricular activities, including quizzes, debates, cadet programs, and entertainment events. The sanctioned schools are Koforidua Senior High Technical School, New Joabin Senior High School, and New Insutem Senior High Technical School, all in the Eastern region. In addition to the ban, each school has been fined 500 cedis and will be surcharged for any cost arising from damage to property or injury sustained by individuals. The sanctions were announced in a press release issued by the Eastern Regional Director of Education following alleged incident of gang rape and stabbing during the just-ended inter-school sports competition in Koforidua. Students from the affected schools are believed to have been engaged in acts of hooliganism that are unacceptable and contrary to GES Code of Conduct. Meanwhile, 2 underage students have been arrested in connection with the alleged gang rape of a student in a bush during the inter-school sports event and are currently facing prosecution. A third suspect, believed to be an older student, is on the run. Police have charged the suspect with conspiracy to commit a crime, to wit rape and rape. In a separate incident, another student was arrested for allegedly stabbing a fellow student miles away from the sports stadium. Very troubling. Well, the Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Clement Park, has been speaking in relation to this. He's confirmed the arrest of the 2 students involved in the rape and stabbing incident that happened in the Eastern region. And he says government is rolling out measures to bring discipline into schools countrywide.
The current approach, as far as the ministry and government are concerned, in our aversion to acts of lawlessness and misconduct. Then came this other very worrying development where reports again came in from the Eastern region indicating that during the Superzonals Sports Festival, a young girl was a victim of rape and another student was a victim of stabbing. I was the one directed by the minister to take it up, and through the Ghana Education Service, I can inform the good people of Ghana that 2 culprits have since been arrested as being part of the perpetrators of the heinous act of rape, and they are assisting the police in investigation. The young lady herself is receiving counseling, and we are doing our best to ensure that she's properly rehabilitated. Investigations are also ongoing with regards to the case of stabbing. But let me be clear to both students and particularly to parents. Students should be informed and they should know that we will not tolerate any acts of lawlessness and misconduct. And parents have a duty to ensure that their wards conduct themselves properly within the context of being in an academic environment. If they do not caution their wards and look the other way, or they don't pay attention to the conduct of their wards in school, and their wards engage in acts of lawlessness or misconduct, they should expect the most severe sanctions to be.
2 young boys in the Saboba district of the northern region have reportedly died from suspected cases of meningitis. This brings the number of meningitis-related deaths across the country to 5. Meningitis, particularly cerebrospinal meningitis, CSM, causes annual fatalities in high-risk outbreaks occurring primarily in the northern regions during the dry season. Between 2018 and 2020, 118 deaths were reported, and recently, 2025 that is, there were also reports of death up to 5 people in the 3 northern regions. So far, about 57 suspected cases of meningitis have been recorded across the country, although the majority tested negative. As part of intensified community engagement, the Northern Regional Health Directorate has begun stakeholder engagements. Well, Nadra Mohammed joins us with a bit more on that. Nadra, what else can you tell us about the spread of CSM in the northern regions?
The spread for now, I think it's limited to the Sababa enclave. Yesterday, when we went to TTH, we didn't get any issues regarding meningitis issue in the TTH. So for now, it's just at the Sababa enclave. And these 2 young souls, a 50-year-old and a 6-year-old, they were not from Saboba itself, but the community around Saboba. They suspected the case, brought them to Saboba Hospital, and then unfortunately it was confirmed, and subsequently they lost their lives. So yesterday when we visited the area, prior to our visit, the community district health directorate has already taken the initiative to engage community members as to engage them, to let them know what is happening and how to protect and prevent themselves from any other cases. So they started the engagement from school level to markets, to churches, to schools, markets, women, and any place there's so much crowd. That's where they are focusing the engagement on, so that they will broaden the scope. And then yesterday, our visit, the chief of the community also volunteered himself to be an ambassador to this engagement and education. So he told us that he will be engaging, he'll be holding a community there, but whereby he will bring everybody around Saboba, not only Saboba Township, but he will broaden the scope to communities around, so that they will educate them as to what to do and what not to do. Mind you, this is a place that the sun is very scorchy, and due to the nature of their road, everywhere is dusty. So they need, the chief said he has to talk to them, so that this wearing of face masks and taking enough water, so that all these issues come to an end. They do not want to see any form of escalation, so they have to do community endeavor.
I see. And you spoke with the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. Let's take a listen to him, and then we'll talk about how the residents are assimilating that education they're being given.
We are in the season of meningitis, and we had some cases recorded in Saboba, and that is why we are here. If you do remember very well, in December we sent out an alert to caution everyone within the meningitis belt to be prepared. And in January again we sent out a reminder because this is seasonal, and we do believe that as a country we should do our best not to record deaths because of meningitis, because this has been happening and recurring all the time, and we think that we should be more proactive than ever. So that is why we are here, to make sure that we are really prepared so we don't lose more lives. We have to make sure that we are able to diagnose. We have to make sure that we are able to tell the people to avail themselves as quickly as possible to our health facilities, and that financial situation should not be a barrier, because His Excellency the President through the Minister has requested, and we have distributed the necessary medications needed to treat disease of this nature. And so we distributed to all the meningitis belt, and the hospitals are well equipped for.
Nadra, how are community residents responding to the education?
Yeah, so for community members, it's a welcoming news, because when they heard about it, they don't really know what meningitis is, but what other people were telling them, they began getting scared because they thought anybody who falls sick when it's fever or malaria, the person is going to die. But then again, because some of the health workers took it upon themselves to go to the community station to constantly talk about it. So they are now getting the clearer picture, and they are welcoming the news that they need education. So they are ready for it, and they are ready to do anything to prevent themselves.
Correspondent Nadra Mohammed, thank you so much for talking to us.
Let's stay up north, and stakeholders in the Savannah region, led by the regional reps of the Council of State, Alhaji Abudu Samson Tingaura, are taking a strong stance against drug abuse and environmental degradation in senior high schools in the region. The campaign is part of broader efforts to address the growing concern and the dangers of substance abuse among the youth in the region and promote environmental protection. According to stats, approximately 50,000 drug users are in Ghana, with 35,000 being students between junior high and tertiary levels. Let's take you to Bali now and engage my colleague Christopher Marco on this rather worrying development. Chris, I appreciate you joining us. Tell us about this engagement and how significant it is in addressing the problem of drugs in the Savannah region in general.
All know that drug abuse has become a topical issue in the country, and as part of efforts by the Savannah regional representative of the Council of State, Tingaura Abdul Samson, to ensuring that the youth do not take that path of abusing drugs, which will have a long-term effect on them, has decided to catch them young, visit the various senior high schools to have an engagement with them, together with other stakeholders, especially in the health and education sector, to be able to give them that necessary information regarding how bad the abuse of drugs can be to their lives. And so this campaign has started in the Bole district. The Bole Senior High School was engaged. The Bole Nursing and Midwifery Training Institution will also be engaged. All the senior high schools in the Savannah region will equally be engaged, such that these students will have first-hand information as to how bad the menace of drug abuse can be on their lives. Let's take a listen to what Tingaura Abdul Samson has been telling us regarding this campaign.
As a parent, it has been a very big source of worry to me that as I walk around town, I see boys and girls who could have equally been my children, in some very bad state of mind. And when you get closer, you realize that it is nothing that is worrying them but drugs. And I believe that it is because of their tender ages. They are unable to determine what is good for them and what is bad. Invariably, after having an interaction with a few of them, I realized that they were on drugs. And it is so painful to see such category of young men and women who are supposed to be the future leaders, get themselves messed up at these tender stages. It's really a very big project. It involves a lot of stakeholders. And I believe that this is the beginning. Once we're able to go through this children, we will also be engaging various pharmacies, drug sellers, and other things. And let them know that even if they are looking for money, but they are destroying the very fabric of their own children in future. And so there's no point in selling drugs that will destroy children. These children are supposed to go and replace them in future. If we don't have good managers of our nation in future, then their business will definitely die out. And so we engage in pharmacies, drug houses, and work in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the police service, and other security agencies, so that occasionally they can make a swipe on these people who sell these drugs and then wipe them out of this.
Stay with Chris. And Chris, we know that the Bali area of the region is known for illegal mining as well. Can we say the mining activity is a contributory factor to this drug abuse issue we're seeing there?
Exactly, Mawena. That is what the residents and other health officials are saying, because we all know that to be able to go down and do this mining activities to be able to work a bit harder. These miners sort of take these hard drugs to give them or to boost their energy levels so that they'll be able to work extra harder. And so, according to the stakeholders, especially the Ghana Health Service, they have seen and realized that the activities here is also contributing to the high patronage of these hard substances. And so they have taken it upon themselves to intensify the education. Yes, you can mine, but use the energy that you have in your body to do the work that you are expected to do. Let's take a listen to the Bole District Health Director and what he's been saying about this issue.
Especially the galamseyers, as we call it in Ghana, they are mostly youth. And where they do the mining, I and you do not have the opportunity to get to them. And as we have, we are following the events, especially in the trafficking of these illicit substances, where the rules that they pass, I and you do not have immediate information about them. These are people who want to work. They virtually want to work non-stop. And they think that the use of the drugs will enhance that their capacity to do that. But at the over of the day, it incapacitate them. They cannot. It's just a matter of time. And you will see that the drugs do not really help you to work.
Chris, I appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much. That's Christopher Marco, who is my colleague in the Savannah region for us this afternoon. We can bring you some other stories.
Now, the Ashanti Regional Office of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission says it is intensifying collaboration with consumers and utility providers to improve service delivery in 2026 and beyond. This comes after a sharp rise in consumer complaints across the region last year.
The Commission requires 161 cases in 2024. 2,599 in 2025. Out of the total received, 1,295 complaints were lodged against the Electricity Company of Ghana, while the Ghana Water Limited accounted for 86 cases. PURC says its intervention led to financial recoveries for both consumers and utility companies.
Customers, through our intervention, who were overbilled on their monthly bills, being water and electricity. Due to our intervention, they would have used their monies to pay those amounts. But we saved them an amount of 503,177.22 in that regard. And the utility companies, on the other hand, with last year, lodged a lot of complaints against consumers. And through our intervention, we retrieved an amount of 81,862.851 for the utility companies.
Briefing the media on the Commission's performance for the year ending December 2025, the regional PRO, Richard Asiedu, explained that the surge in complaints does not necessarily reflect a decline in service delivery. He says the increase is largely due to the Commission's growing visibility, public education, and community outreach across the region. Looking ahead, the Commission says it will strengthen partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure better and more responsive service delivery.
We are willing to do more coming 2026. That's why our regional office has launched a team for the year 2026, which is collaborative regulation for strategic impact. Because we want to get impact of whatever work we are doing. And if we get an impact, we have to collaborate enough. So we are collaborating with the stakeholders.
The PURC says it remains committed to engaging both service providers and consumers to promote fair, reliable, and efficient utility services in the Ashanti region.
Now, the Minister for Works and Housing, Kenneth Gilbert Ajay, has reaffirmed government's commitment to providing all the necessary support to the Makam plant hire, the contractor working on the second phase of the Axim sea defense and additional works to ensure completion. During an inspection of the project on his working visit to the region, He also cautioned the residents to desist from dumping refuse into the drains. Irama Smith has more.
The second phase of the Axim Sea Defense Project, which includes the construction of 550 meters of breakwater, 2.2 kilometers of sea defense, a safe base for fishing activities, and 11 concrete drains, aims to protect the environment and property of the residents. Work began in 2024 with a 24-month deadline. However, construction was halted shortly after starting due to technical and financial challenges before resumption earlier this year. The project engineer for Makam Plant Hire, Benjamin Emisa, reports that the work is now 45% complete, but the team continues to experience delays due to changes in the project scope of work.
We had constant changes in the scope of work, but then it is all good because we are doing this for them. And then if they bring up some of these issues, we have to, take it on board and then make sure that at the end of the day, the project will benefit them, maximally.
After visiting the Sea Defense Project site in Abuazi in Shama, Diskov in the Hunter West Municipality, and Axim in the Nzima East Municipality during his working visit to the Western region, the Minister for Works and Housing, Kenneth Gilbert J., reaffirmed government's commitment to providing all the necessary support to Makam Plant Hire. The contractor is responsible for the second phase of the Axim Sea Defense and additional works. Mr. J also cautioned the residents of Axim to desist from dumping refuse into the drains.
As far as government is concerned, government is ensuring that all the necessary support that the contractor needs is being given so that the work is completed on time. But this project is going to help the people in this area. One, if you look at how they've increased the size of the bay, now our fisher folks are going to get a larger place to park their boats and their fishing equipment to be able to embark on their fishing activities. But I would just plead with the community not to be throwing rubbish in the drains, because from what we've witnessed and from what we even saw when we got here, there's a lot of dirt around. And we all know that when the dirt gets into the sea, it will definitely come out. And it's not good for us, even for our health.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Western Region.
So live here on News Central, we're going for yet another break. We'll return with a bit more stories and then we take the show from stage.
Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
From the 13th of February to the 15th,
we're leaving the chaos of a crowd behind for a weekend of intimacy and play.
Think boat cruise,
the heat of a bonfire, and the kind of serenity that lets you explore every moment together.
Limited rooms are available for just 2,200 Ghana cedis only to enjoy 2 nights of luxury and pleasure,
inclusive of special decor, candlelight dinner, and wine on arrival for you.
The room is ready. Are you?
Visit mgtix.africa
or call 054-788-6258 to book now.
Your most intimate Valentine yet is waiting. Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
Where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and your lover.
from the 13th of February to the 15th.
We're leaving the chaos of a crowd behind for a weekend of intimacy and play.
Think boat cruise.
The heat of a bonfire and the kind of serenity that lets you explore every moment together.
Limited rooms are available for just 2,200 Ghana cedis only to enjoy 2 nights of luxury and pleasure.
Inclusive of special decor, candlelight dinner, and wine on arrival for you.
The room is ready. Are you?
Visit mgtix.africa
Or call 054-788-6258 to book now.
Your most intimate Valentine yet is waiting. Why settle for a bouquet when you can have a vacation?
Join us at the Chill River Resort in Cater,
Where the world stops and the focus is entirely on the two of you, just you and you.
Welcome back to News Central. Now, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi Sapong, has advised management of the authority that it will take a transformed institution to meet government's 230 billion cedi revenue target for this year. Chairman of the GRA board and Majority Chief Whip, Kweku Ricketts-Hagan, also cautioned the leadership that GRA sits at the very center of the national reset agenda. Irama Smith has more.
The retreat by the management of the Ghana Revenue Authority is to help them realign their leadership focus to meet expectations. GRA has been tasked by government with mobilizing 230 billion Ghana cedis in domestic revenue for 2026. In his welcome address, the Commissioner General, Anthony Kwesi Sapong, lauded the staff and management for their continuous dedication, hard work, and support. He, however, cautioned the authority currently has a challenge of around 60% VAT tax gap and upwards of 80% corporate income tax gap, and only a transformed institution can meet government's 230 billion.
This is an ambitious target, but it's also a necessary one for financing national development, strengthening fiscal sustainability, and supporting government's broader economic agenda.
Board Chairman and Deputy Majority Leader Kweku Ricketts-Hagan was happy about the theme of transforming for impact and growth, focusing on people and performance, as according to him, it accurately reflects the board's strategic outlook for the authority.
Your commitment to the authority's mandate of mobilizing revenue for national development remains central to fiscal stability and the effective functioning of the state.
The Western Regional Minister, Joseph Nelson, noted the significance of the Western region to their work.
Our region is home to major extractive, industrial, and maritime activities, making it a vital contributor to Ghana's economy. This setting provides a fitting backdrop for your deliberations on how revenue strategies can better align with productive sectors to drive inclusive growth.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Takrady.
Well, that's it from us this afternoon here on News Central. A reminder, though, that all important address by the Finance Minister on cocoa reforms and the way forward will be live here on TV3 as and when that conference is, that press briefing is starting. We'll be here to bring you details of it. I am Mawin Aibeta.
And I am Kameni Amano. We'll see you same time tomorrow, however, with another edition of News Central. Bye-bye.